Questions?
I was wondering, can you say approximately how much money in the stimulus bill would be used for the Interior Department or used for parks and so forth? And have you looked at how many jobs that could create?
There are still discussions underway about how much money will actually come into each of the departments. The criteria is fairly simple. We have to make sure that we identify projects that are shovel ready and that are going to create jobs. And when you look at that, we are probably looking at a total within the Department of Interior of somewhere between $2 billion and $3 billion. And there will be a good part of that. The proposal that came out of the House of Representatives for the Fish and Wildlife Service alone had about $300 million to be spread across the entire nation. And so what we will do is make sure that we are funding the highest priority projects, those projects which are going to create jobs, because the underlying motivation for moving forward with this economic recovery package is to get our economy out of the ditch.
Could you talk a little bit about your reaction to Inspector General Devaney's report on, came out a few weeks ago, on questionable decisions dealing with the Endangered Species Act? Many of the people named in that report are still either with Fish and Wildlife, Solicitor's Office, somewhere else in the Interior Department, people that were involved in decisions that showed a sort of scorn of science in endangered species decisions. Could you, what's your plan in addressing that?
You know, Alan, the reality of it is that the Department of Interior has suffered a major blemish in the last 8 years. You know, the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Interior went to prison. Became known as a Department of Jack Abramoff in the way that the American people saw the department. We had the sex and drug scandals here in Lakewood at MMS. We had problems with Julia McDonald and what it was that she did in terms of the Inspector General's findings relative to the doctoring up of science. So we have a lot of cleaning up to do, and that's part of what we are starting and have started from day one, and will continue to do that throughout the time that I'm Secretary of Interior. Be that 4 years or be it 8 years, who knows what it will be. But we will clean up this department. Now, on the question of the Endangered Species Act and decisions that have been made on Section 7 consultations, one of the things we need to do, as President Obama has said time and time again, is return back to sound science. Decisions that are made with respect to the Endangered Species Act should be based on fundamentally good science, and that is one of the ethics we will bring back into the department.
Do you see that there might be a possible conflict between going for a moonshot of energy independence and using the public lands to try to open up for even more renewable energy sources, and this traditional mission that has to do with science and protecting the resource?
You know, Alan, there may be trade-offs that we have to deal with there. You know, the Department of Interior oversees about 20% of the landmass of the United States of America. And in that landmass, we probably control the best of possibilities for solar energy, which is a huge opportunity for us to get to energy independence. There are projects being planned of 100 megawatts to 350 megawatts of solar power within the public lands of America. You start thinking about solar power plants that generate that kind of electricity, that's about the equivalent of one coal-fired power plant. So there's a great opportunity for Interior to contribute to the new energy frontier, which we will reach. I have no doubt that we will reach that. We also will have to deal with transmission, because we have to get those electrons from the deserts or places like the southern part of Colorado to places where the electricity is consumed in the big cities. And so as we deal with transmission lines and we deal with the siting of renewable energy facilities, there will be inevitably the reality that we have to deal with impacts to the land and to wildlife habitat. But we can do that, I think, in a thoughtful manner, in a way that makes sure that we are moving forward with renewable energy, because at the end of the day, unless we are able to deal with the problem of global warming and climate change, we put the very species in danger that we are trying to protect through the other authorities that we have. So I think we can balance it out. And we're only beginning, I think this is my 10th day on the job, and let's try to figure it all out and be problem solvers.
Last question. Okay. Do you know if the Shell still helping out with paying for stuff around here? Can they, some of their money is going to be used for the visitor center? Confused on where that's going.
I'm going to have Steve from here answer that question.
Shell has been helping out with a lot of different projects. For example, when the bison were brought in, they helped out with the fencing for that project. They've also helped committed $25,000 of labor for the bison corral that we'll be constructing. And yes, they help in many ways, smaller activities or smaller contributions, but they have been a good partner helping with many aspects of the refuge.
Is that part of the lawsuit settlement, or just on their own?
That is just on their own. That's their contribution that they want to make to the refuge. They're very proud of the refuge and the transformation into a refuge themselves.
Well, just I mean, this was a few months ago when we participated, most of us who were here, in the press conference on the resolution of the natural resource damage claims, and there is a pot of money there that will help Commerce City, Adams County, and the Wildlife Refuge do some great things for the future, and really to implement the vision that these community leaders gathered here today have put together for the Northeast Greenway corridor that will tie the Rocky Mountain Arsenal into the South Platte, into Sand Creek, and into the whole opportunity for this entire metropolitan area to enjoy the grandeur that we're seeing here today. Thank you all very much for coming out on this wonderful, beautiful Colorado day. It's a lot nicer to be in Colorado than Washington, D.C.
They want us to walk down here and then